Hey, what's going on, guys? Absolutely Beast, bringing you a race, well, two races actually on Forza Motorsport 7. So this first race is with a Porsche, the GT1, the Strassen version, which is a pretty sick-looking car. I think it's from the late 90s. It's basically like a not a prototype, but it's kind of like a different type car. Anyway, it's pretty cool. I like it. It reminds me of the Porsche GT1 that I drove in Forza 6, which was a DLC car with the Porsche pack, which is pretty sick. But this thing actually sounds really sick. I'll give you a little taster here as we come out of this. Listen to this. Oh yeah. So right about here, I realized I should have turned the drive tires up because it was being a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, that's okay. I mean, I still had them on, I think I had them on like 80%, maybe even, or at least 60%, but I'm not sure. So, this is a race I did on Silverstone. I absolutely love Silverstone. One of the best tracks. Used to not like it. Used to be a real, I don't even know what the right word is. Used to be really against it and didn't like to race it all that much back in the Forza 5 days, but that ended up getting overcome because it's a really good track. It's got a really good balance. You got a lot of high-speed sections, sort of like a low downforce type track. You got a lot of high-speed sections, and then there's a few turning sections that are a little bit tighter, but mainly just sort of an all-out type track, and I really like that. I especially like this section right here where you come out of there and then you curve into this thing. So yeah, so I want to bring you guys this one, just because this was like a showcase race. So this isn't a car that I own. Actually, I take that back. I do own this car, but only because I unlocked it after I won this. But I did this race, unlocked this car, and unfortunately there were no leaderboards. I'm really kind of upset about that. I like the showcase events, but it's really unfortunate that they don't have leaderboards for these showcase events. I feel like that's something that they would have done, but they decided to do as they please, and they decided to not do that. So anyway, as I'm racing here, I'm just going to pull up on my phone real quick and check. I should have checked this before I started, but I'm going to check the ForzaMotorsport.net. Just want to make sure that there's nothing new that's launched. So no, it's just the same. Well, it's the weekend review for the 27th, which looks like it's just some stuff that we've already heard before. But I'll just kind of briefly summarize real quick. So it's they're celebrating the release of the latest update for Forza 7, which is the new VIP feature, while spotlighting the new specialty cars. Checking out the Forza-thon events in Forza Horizon. Don't care about that. And they're doing a Halloween Bash contest, which I'm not really sure what that is. So, VIP reward update says earlier today. Again, this is from the 27th, which is that today? No, today's the 28th technically. So, yeah. So it says earlier today, which would be yesterday. They released the update for Forza 7. Introduces the 2x base credit bonus after every race for the VIPs in Forza 7, and then they also address a few issues in the game. Issue where the VIP cars and the driver gear were unavailable if you were playing offline. They had a memory leak issue apparently, where the game would become unresponsive or close unexpectedly for some PC players after upgrading cars or using the livery editor. Fixed an issue for PC players who were experiencing multiple repeated black screen crashes at launch, which is interesting. So yeah, it says as always, you can keep up to date with the latest notes, and they have a link to the dedicated thread on the Forza forums. They also released a small update which corrects the name of the Hoonigan car pack title and the art that comes with it. So that was interesting. So costume prize crates. We set up 3 new prize crates live in Forza 7 with Halloween. They've introduced a few crates that give us a chance to win some driver gear suits. They fit right in with the costume season. It says there's a mummy. Oh, that's sick. Day of the Dead suit. That's pretty sick. Also, Ghost. And skeleton suits, among others. It says here's a breakdown of the new mummy crates. Or, excuse me, the new crates and what's inside. So there's a mummy driver gear crate. It says the mummy driver. You get a chance to win. If you open this crate, you get a chance to win the mummy driver gear. Also includes car, driver gear, mods, badges. A super lucky gear crate. Super rare legendary gear guaranteed. Includes car, driver gear, mods, badges. And then there's a double driver gear crate, which is race off with 2 costume driver gear guaranteed. So, specialty dealer, I'll have to get in there and check those out. That sounds sick. So, specialty dealer, it says in 60s week, Forza 7 specialty dealer has 3 cars. There's a... Oh yeah, see now I switched to the in-car view here, which is pretty sick. The car sounds even better from in here. I'll give you a little taste of this. Pretty sick, huh? So, there's a 1964 Chevy Impala Supersport 409. We've also got the 1963 Ferrari 250 LM, which is worth almost 3,000 collector score points, which is quite a lot. But you know, it's an incredible amount of money. I think it's like $1.5 million, something like that, which is as much as the Renault RS17, the F1 car. It's more than pretty much any other car in the game. I haven't seen anything more than that. And it says in last week's edition, they said there was a VW Type 2 Deluxe van, but they actually found an issue with the car not appearing correctly, so they actually replaced it with another classic. So it's the 1969 Dodge Charger, the Daytona Hemi. So it says the VW van will be coming back in the future. So they've also got some performance-minded beasts becoming a specialty dealer. Including the 911 GT3 RS 4.0, which, oh man, I will buy that immediately. Nissan Silvia Ks, probably buy one of those too, actually, and the Lamborghini Aventador LP 700. So, yeah, I'm gonna save up some money and buy those next week. For sure, the GT3 RS 4.0. I've been waiting. Well, actually, it depends on what year it's from because they don't have a GT3 in the game, which I found to be really strange. I guess. In a lot of ways, I have the same question about the GT3 RS versus the GT2 RS in the current Porsche lineup. Because, I mean, the GT3 RS is like the track-oriented aero version. You know, it has the naturally aspirated 4-liter engine, but this GT2 RS looks like it has pretty much all the same aero pack. Now, I haven't looked, and I switched to this driverless, or this wheel-less cockpit view here, which is actually really sick. I like this one a lot. But, like they were switching to the turbo GT2 RS, and it looks like it has all the same aero packs. So I would guess the GT3. I mean, obviously the GT3 is just like the naturally aspirated version, but the GT3 is like $100 cheaper than the GT2, which is really strange. So depending on which GT3 RS that is, I'm sure they'll be getting one of those. And then they said they're doing an annual Halloween bash. It says we're extending the deadline to entry to October 31st. Announcing prizes that are up for grabs. Little Vixen's outdone herself this year, creating beautiful Halloween-themed liveries, which I would guess is a community member or something. Amazing cars: of 2013 Shelby GT500, 2016 Lamborghini Aventador SV, the LP750, 2016 Viper ACR, and the 09 Ford Focus RS. Focus is an exclusive car that you can't find anywhere else in the game right now. And anyone who enters will also get the clown driver gear. Oh my goodness. So they said taking part in the bash is simple as creating a livery, a layer, group, or photo with a Halloween theme, sharing it in the game, and posting it with a dedicated thread for all the rules on how to get involved. Just check out, there's also a link to the thread in the forums here, where I'll link this video description, but I will link this article in the description. So, yeah, this is just talking about Forza Horizon 3. Forzathon events. So let's see. Others with the Elite controller, some with the pedal setup. I'm just reading this next thing down. It says the Ultimate Forza 7 controller. So it takes the custom controller to the next stream. Check out the driver of your French Forza player POG, who turned his own real-life $400,000 Aventador into the Ultimate Forza controller. Wow, that's pretty interesting. So, anyway, so yeah, they're just talking about down here at the bottom about how, you know, the Xbox One X is coming out next week, which I am so looking forward to. I hope you guys will check back with me then, because there'll be absolutely 4K 60 content coming your way as soon as that launches. I'm absolutely thrilled for that, and I'm super thrilled that the stuff is all able to be pre-downloaded like it is, which is the 4K pack. For the textures and all that, so I have all that stuff already downloaded, so that'll be ready to go. I just have to do, obviously, like a day one update or whatever with the console, figure that out. So it says next week we'll be taking a look at how the Forzathon and Auction House work in Forza 7. We also have a number of new Rivals events that are going to go live next week, including a new VIP only as well as a no assist competitive driver training event and more. So I'll put this article down in the description if you guys want to check it out for yourself. So yeah, so as this race is wrapping up here with this Porsche, I end up getting to the RS17 in the next video, or the next clip. And so what I did with that one was, you know, if you guys saw my video from a while back, which not a lot of people did, but it was a tuning video where I basically went through and did some base level tuning on the RS17. So basically when I do that, I don't really know, especially with this car, since I don't use other people's tunes, I always just drive the car by itself with just a default stock setup for a while, so I can get the feel of it there, and then I tune based off of that. But one of the most important metrics for doing that is to pick up a tune that is really good, and I generally defer to Killer Spoon for that one because he loves to use all the different tunes, and he's really good with some of that stuff. So I defer to his judgment, so I started trying this tune that's by FH4 Venom, and the tune is a tune for I almost called it Lotus again, man. It's the tune for the Renault. That's a 4-speed tune, which is really interesting and, in my opinion, terrible. Normally it's an 8-speed, and obviously I was trying to create less speed than that, like a 6-speed, because I didn't like the just the ratios of the 8-speed. But he actually does a 4-speed tune, so I just wanted to try that out. And as you'll see, the gears are really, really long. Like when first of all, I can't really get first started here, and I'm still a little unsure about what I'm going to do about the clutch. You'll see it'll catch here in a second. There we go. So first gear goes to 90, second gear goes all the way up to 150. You see I'm only in third gear right here. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to give it a try, and the reason I do that is because for me, you know, I've said this before too many times, but a lot of times what feels good is not actually fast, and a lot of times what is fast doesn't actually quite feel good. So it's important for me, because I don't know as a baseline, and I don't know as a good time. It's important to me to download a tune or a good tune and try it out after I've sort of settled mine in a little bit, so that I can compare mine versus theirs. Because if I pick up theirs and I'm running a full second faster right away, I know that there's still a lot of work to be done on mine. And so that's what I'm doing, and honestly, that's exactly what happened here. So after a few of these laps, I end up running... Whoa, that cone just went flying. I didn't realize that when I was racing it. But yeah, so, I mean, some of these turns, it feels okay. But the problem for me is, you know, really the 8-speed and the 4-speed are different extremes. You know, 8-speed, there's just too many ratios and they're too close. So any given corner, you could take in like third or fourth or even fifth, depending on, you know, what you wanted to do. And that was a horrible turn. And then with the 4-speed, it's pretty much the opposite. So with a 4-speed, I mean, there's only a couple, you know, so many gears you can take a turn in. And so the gears are super spread out, and it just feels very weird to me, and especially like when you're downshifting. It gives the same effect. The really only issue for me with the 8-speed, I don't like shifting a ton, but that's not really the main issue. The main issue is when I slow down, trying to brake and position my car as carefully as I can. It's not exactly easy for me to brake and downshift, you know, 6 times to go from 8 to 2nd or whatever, which is really just rough. So I find that really hard to deal with. And then with this car, it's actually the opposite, which is, you'll see like that, that's way too deep on that corner. I went way too far. And the reason for that is because there's so few gears that I end up not downshifting enough, and it doesn't end up setting me up. Let's see if I do it again here. I probably will. Probably go a little bit deep on this next corner coming up. See that? Way too deep. Way too deep. Because, you know, when you only shift down so much, so many gears, you don't really lose a ton of speed. And so, you know, for me, my controller died there. So there was a, you know, for me, it's like a real, I mean, it's a really fine line, and you want to balance, you know, how much your braking is stopping you and how much your downshifting is helping that. Because, as I said, with the 8-speed, if you're not downshifting, just bam, 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 you know, on the turn, you're gonna go too deep. And in this one, even if I'm bam, 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 which I did on that last one, you know, I went 4 all the way down to first, and I was just on the brakes hard the whole time. I still wasn't able to stop in time, which was just not exactly ideal. So just trying to find a middle ground. And for me, this made me realize that I could probably even do a 6-speed tune, which, you know, that's what I'm trying to do, but I could really just do a 6-speed with no 7. But I think I'll probably keep the 7 as an overdrive just in case. I do like having it there, just if you're like on a long straight or something, but we'll kind of have to see. So, I don't know, I just thought these were interesting races to bring you guys. I didn't get a chance to race tonight, so these were races that I did yesterday, but I don't know, I'm excited. I can't wait to get back on there. I think I mentioned this yesterday or 2 days ago, but I did try and get back in there in the RXC Turbo, the Radical, and I wasn't feeling it right away, so just kind of taking a breather and just, gonna kind of see where I am. But like I said, this was just sort of a benchmark for me. See, still way too deep on that corner. And, that could be the brakes, too. It could be the way the brakes are set up. Since I use ABS, I'm going to have a little bit different brake feel than most people do. So, for someone who doesn't use ABS, they'll be able to get a lot more pressure out of the brakes and stop the car faster. But for me, if I just mash the trigger, sometimes the higher brake pressures actually hurt me because the brakes have to unlock and lock more often, which leads me to longer stopping distances. So, I mean, it's possible that that's going on, too. But I just don't like... It feels very limiting to only use 4 speeds. But this is the tune that a lot of people up at the top, or really all the guys up at the top on this track at least, are using. And so that's what I'm basing mine against. And like I said, I get like a full second faster. Man, I'm still on a green split after hitting that wall. That's terrible. But one of these laps coming up, I think I get like a 29, or I think I get a low 28 or something like that, which is basically a full second faster than mine. So I'll revisit mine. I'll go back to it, race a bunch more laps, and sort of dial in some more tuning and see where I can get this thing to go. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave it off there. Thank you guys for watching this one. I appreciate it. Check back soon if you like my content. Subscribe if you like my content. I'm trying to upload every other day at least. That's my goal, is every other day. I want to make sure I get plenty of content out there for you guys, because I know, there's, at this point, there might be more people than there were before, but there's definitely still not a lot of people putting out content. And again, super, super stoked for the Xbox One X coming out. Today is Saturday, I guess, and it's coming out in a week, in a couple of days, so I am super thrilled for that. I cannot wait. And also, Call of Duty World War II is coming out. I don't know how many of you guys are interested in that, but that's something I'm going to be playing a lot of also. So, super excited for that. Thank you guys. Thanks for being here and checking it out. Make sure you check back soon, and subscribe. See you guys later.